So here we are at IATEFL Brighton with Giovanni Licata. Giovanni, would you like to tell us a few things about you?
Yes. Okay, I work in Rome at International House Rome. I'm the head of teacher training in Rome, and I've been a CELTA trainer for a few years and a teacher for maybe 10 or 15 years.
And what brought you to IATEFL? I know this is your first time here.
It is, yes. I think my background in teaching and teacher training is maybe a bit unusual. I am also a theater director, and so I'm very busy with that part of my life. So this is the first time I'm actually here because it's the first time I've had a chance to take some time off my theater productions and come here in spring.
Have you enjoyed the conference so far?
I have, yes. Yeah, very much, in fact. I really like the fact that I get to. It seems like a great opportunity to meet people that come from very different contexts, and that's what I'm really interested in right now.
And yesterday you talked about a topic that's very dear to my heart. Would you like to tell us a few things about your talk?
Yes. All right. So, well, first of all, my talk is really dear to my heart as well. My talk is about teachers' attitudes towards using LGBT inclusive materials in the classroom. I think there have been a few talks or presentations on how to design materials that are LGBT inclusive. I think we need to also think about teachers who need to implement those approaches or use those materials and help them in a way and give them the tools to feel encouraged and free and safe when they're using these materials.
So is there a specialized training that the teachers need in order to be able to do that, or the teachers feel that they need?
I think from the study that I conducted, what emerged was that teachers, especially newly qualified teachers, felt that they needed maybe not specific training, but needed some training in dealing with situations that might arise. And this is because I think a lot of teachers feel the pressure on them when they're dealing with any kind of topic that seems to be less maybe politically correct or safe than most topics would.
And you talked about lack of materials, but you also showed some ways where teachers could adapt existing materials.
Yes.
How could you summarize that? How could teachers do that? How easy it is?
Well, my suggestion is, first of all, that everything be kind of focused on the learners rather than the teachers. And so a very easy way to do that, or at least for me very easy, would be to get the students to design materials during the lesson. And we actually tried that in my school, and we also tried that with another IH school in Italy, IH Milano, and it was very successful with juniors and teens, and yes, we got them to adapt coursebook pages, including all of the social groups that they identified as excluded from the coursebook that they were using.
What would you say to people who would ask why do that?
Why is it's the time? Well, I think I would say why not? I would say that teaching has to teaching and learning, especially learning a language, has to reflect the reality and has to reflect the world that we live in. And I would say that it's particularly important in a language classroom because you need to give learners the tools to live in the world that we live in. And it's a very globalized world. And they need to be able to interact with all kinds of people and all kinds of social groups. And it's really unrealistic to think that we can just chop certain topics off and out of the classroom.
I was in your talk and people were all very positive about everything you said. How positive you think are people who were not here, for example, that the people with whom you work?
Well, I'm very lucky to work with colleagues that have been very appreciative of my, initiatives and suggestions. I think there is, of course, a risk of dealing with colleagues or coworkers that are not as positive, and of course, we are very lucky to be here, and with an audience like you said, that was very, supportive. I think they need to consider people who are well, there are two reasons. They might be scared, or so they might feel that this is dangerous in their context, and I appreciate that argument. And I think I would then maybe encourage a culture of professional development in their schools that supported teachers that are willing to maybe explore areas that might be more dangerous in their context. And that's one reason. The second reason is they might be resistant. They might use the argument that I had in one of my slides yesterday, which is, we're only here to teach the language. Well, I would personally challenge that argument by letting them know that whatever they choose to talk about does send a message. So if they choose to talk about the weather versus, gay families, that is a choice in itself, and it is sending out a message. And also, I think there needs to be more attention given to identity and learner identities in general. So maybe think about the learners rather than you as a teacher.
So teachers need more awareness, perhaps.
Awareness of the different possibilities that are out there, and maybe awareness of the fact that learners have identities that can be used to help them learn a new language. You develop a different identity in a new language, and you use yourself, of course, and you don't become a new person, of course, but I'm a different person when I speak Italian. I'm a different person when I speak Spanish. I'm myself, but with slightly different features, maybe.
Going back to the conference, what are your expectations for the remaining 2 days?
My expectations, I hope to actually get the chance to meet some interesting speakers for 5 minutes and network and maybe exchange emails and ideas and get them involved in Twitter chats or projects that I have that I think might be interesting to both of us.
Is there anything you would like to say to people who, like you, because it was your first time here, will be their first time in Liverpool next year?
As presenters or attending the conference?
Both.
Well, attending the conference, I'm going to say if you have the chance to take a week off or come here or get your school just sponsor you and come to the conference, 100% it's absolutely worth it. So yes, they need to do it. And as presenters, I'm just going to say take the risk and do it. I mean, I think it's a challenge that you're taking and of course that you're embracing, and I think embracing challenges makes us grow.
Is there anything last you would like to say to the people who are watching these, perhaps?
These videos? Yeah, that it's been fun to be interviewed. And and I think a very important message out there is to share and get together as much as possible in conferences like these, and sometimes also think that people that you meet are coming again from different contexts, and it's hard to imagine sometimes that someone might be the person that you're looking for, because I think we very often get caught up in the idea that we need that one thing, whereas sometimes maybe we don't need that one thing. So listen to the people that are out there.
Thank you very much for being here with us today.
You're very welcome.